From a viral YouTube discovery to worldwide fame, from public self-destruction to a quiet, hard-fought redemption, this is the story of Justin Bieber. Before we unpack the extreme highs and lows, let me ask you this. What happens when a child's talent is so immense that the entire world notices before he's even a teenager? What happens when that same world, after lifting you to the stars, turns and watches with a mix of horror and glee as you fall? This is the journey of Justin Drew Bieber, a tale not just of pop music, but of modern celebrity's brutal crucible. Justin Bieber was born in March 1994 in London, Ontario, but his real roots are in the small city of Stratford. His mother, Patty Mallet, was young and facing the immense challenges of single parenthood. Their life was built on financial struggle, living in subsidized housing. But within that struggle, Patty saw a spark in her son. It was a raw, natural musicality that seemed to pulse through him. He'd create rhythms on pots and pans, showing an instinctive connection to sound. With scarce resources, Patty found ways to get him basic instruments. What Justin did next, he did largely alone. He taught himself drums, piano, guitar, and trumpet. No formal teachers, just endless hours of watching, listening, and practicing until his hands ached. This wasn't a privileged prodigy. This was a kid from a modest background with a fierce internal drive. The turning point arrived when Justin was 12. Patty entered him in a local talent contest, Stratford Idol. He placed second, but that performance was a lightning rod. People in his town suddenly saw it. This kid was different. Patty filmed his performances and put them on YouTube, a platform still in its infancy for star making. She didn't stop there. She kept filming him singing covers of artists like Usher and Stevie Wonder in their living room. His voice carried a soulfulness that defied his age. Between uploads, Justin would busk on the steps of Stratford's Avon Theater, his guitar case open for coins. He was building his stage presence one tourist at a time, completely unaware of the digital avalanche about to hit. Those homemade YouTube videos began to spread. Views climbed from hundreds to thousands, then tens of thousands. Strangers online were captivated, asking, "Who is this boy?" In 2008, a music executive named Scooter Braun was searching for something else entirely when he clicked on one of Justin's videos. The discovery stopped him cold. Braun was struck by two undeniable forces: the vocal precision and the magnetic charisma leaking through the low-quality webcam. He tracked down Patty. Her reaction was instant motherly protection. This was a stranger wanting her 13-year-old son, but Braun was persistent. He eventually convinced Patty to bring Justin to Atlanta. The meeting that changed everything was with Usher. The global R&B icon was initially skeptical, but upon hearing Justin sing and sensing his dedication, Usher saw the future. A quiet bidding war even unfolded between Usher and Justin Timberlake. In the end, Justin Bieber, at just 14, signed with Braun and Usher's Raymond Braun Media Group, then with Island Records. His childhood was effectively over. His first single, One Time, did well in 2009, but nothing prepared the planet for 2010 and the release of Baby. The song wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural takeover. It played everywhere, constantly. The music video shattered YouTube records. And then came the phenomenon beyond the music, Bieber Fever. This was a sociological event. Teenage fans screamed themselves to tears. He became a master of the new social media landscape, talking directly to his believers. By 15, he was performing for a president. By 16, selling out legendary arenas. His documentary, Never Say Never, earned millions. But underneath the glittering surface, a dangerous pressure was building. Justin was living a surreal, non-stop loop of tours, interviews, and performances, all while missing the normal milestones of teenage life. He was a global product, but inside, he was still a kid trying to figure himself out. By 2012, as he entered adulthood, the cracks became global headlines. He was photographed smoking marijuana. He showed up hours late to his own concerts. A visit to the Anne Frank house resulted in a guestbook comment that sparked international criticism for its perceived insensitivity. Then, in January 2014 came the mugshot. Arrested in Miami for DUI and resisting arrest, the image of a defiant, hollow-eyed young man told a story of deep crisis. More incidents piled up, egging a neighbor's house, a collision in Canada, even an incident with a pet monkey in Germany. The world's adoration curdled into mockery. He became the ultimate celebrity punchline. But what the headlines missed was the human spiral happening in the darkness. Justin Bieber was battling severe depression, anxiety, and substance abuse. He was surrounded by enablers, isolated by fame, and in his own words, contemplated ending his life. He felt like a prisoner in his own story. The climb back began in 2015, a decision that likely saved him. He connected with a life coach and re-engaged with his Christian faith, building a relationship with Pastor Carl Lentz. His album Purpose was a public turning point. Songs like Sorry felt like authentic apologies set to music, but the transformation was fragile. In 2017, he canceled his world tour, openly citing his battle with depression and dependency. This was his wilderness period, stepping away from the spotlight to rebuild from the inside out, often photographed looking lost in thought. A cornerstone of stability emerged in 2018 when he reconnected with model Hailey Baldwin, whom he had dated years prior. Their relationship moved quickly. They were engaged by July and married in a courthouse ceremony that September. Hailey has been openly supportive, speaking candidly about navigating his mental health struggles as a partnership. With this foundation, Justin began to speak with a new, radical vulnerability. His 2020 YouTube documentary series, Seasons, pulled back the curtain entirely. He discussed his past drug use, his ongoing mental health battles, his therapy, and revealed a diagnosis of Lyme disease that had been secretly sapping his health for years. This was a different man, not defensive, but accountable and introspective. His music followed this personal growth. The 2020 album Changes was a love letter to Hailey and commitment. Justice in 2021 grappled with broader themes of faith and social redemption. A hit like Peaches proved his chart-topping power remained, but now it felt earned on his own mature terms. His real success was no longer measured in records sold, but in becoming a person he could finally be proud of. His renewed resilience was tested by new challenges. A 2022 diagnosis of Ramsay Hunt syndrome, which caused temporary facial paralysis, and shortly after, his wife Hailey's own serious health scare involving a blood clot. Through these trials, the public saw a different Justin, vulnerable yet steadfast, anchored by his marriage and hard-won perspective. So what is the ultimate takeaway from this decades-long odyssey? First, that early meteoric fame is a dangerous gift, offering the world while robbing you of the ordinary, private life required to process it. Second, that public redemption is possible, but the true, grinding work of healing is intensely necessarily private. Third, that mental health struggles spare no one, not even the most famous and wealthy among us. Justin Bieber's legacy undoubtedly includes over 150 million records sold and a catalog of record-breaking hits. But perhaps his more enduring legacy is modeling a path back from the very public brink. He showed that even from the darkest depths, with support and brutal self-honesty, a person can rebuild. His darkest moments, in the end, forged a resilience and authenticity that simple fame never could. Today, Justin Bieber is still writing his story, a husband, now a father, and an artist defining success on his own terms. The kid who sang for coins on the steps of the Avon Theater in Stratford didn't just survive the unimaginable arc of his life. He has been forced to consciously rewrite it in real time. His journey offers a powerful, universal reminder. Our lowest points, our most public failures, do not have to be the end of our story. They can become, if we choose the hard path of recovery, the foundation for a stronger, truer, and more authentic self. The screams of the crowd always fade. The headlines always move on to the next scandal. But what endures is the character forged in the silence after the cameras turn away.